Welcome to Retirement Ramblings. I'm Scott, and today is day 331 in my countdown to retirement. So today, I started the day reviewing the progress in my aero garden for the seedlings that I'm trying to grow there, and everything has germinated except for thyme. So I might need to transfer one thyme sprig from my outside raised garden bed into the aero garden to see if the hydroponic growth will be easier starting with a small sprig versus the little containers that they give you when you start. But all of the other things, starting with dill, are growing like a weed. So I'm happy with the way the progress is going. So I'm happy with that. Then, did my normal work, had my meetings. One of the things that came up today was that I needed to take and complete a security training class and then get tested on my knowledge retention with regard to that security education. So I took care of that. And then my wife had asked me to list one of her pocketbooks, which is by I guess a designer called Vince Camuto, on Facebook Marketplace. So I did that. First I photographed the bag inside and out. I created the Facebook ad, I created the post, and then I began handling all the inquiries that come in via Facebook Messenger with you know the ones like, is it still available, even though it's clearly posted, and not listed as sold. And then then you respond, yes, it's still available. Would you like to come see it, or something similar to that? And then you never hear back from the person. So in any event, this particular listing that I created for her was pretty popular. She got 610 clicks, and then on the ad, and then I had to answer scores of questions of people, with, is it still available, among other things. But I always list inside the ad the meetup location. I indicate local sales only, cash only, no electronic payments accepted. I even put the location zip code in the descriptive subject line of the ad so people can figure out how far I am from where they are. Over time, I've determined that people don't read the ads. They simply look at the pictures and then they click the button that says, that defaults to, is it still available? And then possibly you have a dialogue, but usually it's, is it still available? And then it's followed up with, what's your address, right? Or, can you ship it to me, or something to that effect. So what normally ends up happening also is, as I indicated, I don't take electronic payments. So on many occasions, I show up and the person's like, okay, let me Venmo you, the payment. And I'm like, no, I don't do electronic payments. I only accept cash. And then it becomes an issue where the person has to find an ATM or do something to be able to get the cash, or they have to go back home again and reschedule with me, because I just refuse to take electronic payments. For me, it's a security issue, having nothing to do with the fact that it's an electronic payment method. It's just I don't want to use those methods. Plus, I just prefer that when I hand somebody something via Facebook, that I walk away with the cash. They got what they want, and I get what I want, and I don't have to worry about, did something happen? Did the transaction get actually fulfilled? Whatever. So anyway, based on the experience, not only this, but of like dozens of other, postings that I put up, I've decided that I'm going to create a slide that has all the relevant information, and I'm going to upload it as a picture so that when people are scrolling through the pictures, there's no reason that they won't see, like it'll be a big thing like stop, and then it'll like list, local sales only, no electronic payments accepted, like it'll be in their face, because really I don't want to be bothered by people that don't want to follow the mechanisms that I want to use to sell. It's perfectly fine with me if they want to go and only buy from somebody that takes electronic payments or that's willing to ship to them or whatever, but that's just not me. So, in any event, that's what I'm going to try and do to solve that problem. Fast forward, um, I had a woman that decided that she wanted this particular pocketbook. We communicated earlier in the week. We set a time for today. My wife and I went and met her at the normal meetup location, and voila, she was like, "Okay, let me Venmo you the money," and I went through the same process again, and ultimately, you know, she told me what bank she banks with. I told her the closest location for that particular branch. And then we followed her to the branch location where she went to an ATM, got the money, handed us the money. We gave her what she was purchasing, and she went on her way. But, super frustrating. It was embarrassing for her, frustrating for us. But, that's the way it is. And then kind of to top it off was like not 5 minutes after we completed the transaction, my messenger app dinged again, and it was a guy who wanted to buy a torque wrench that I have listed for sale. And, he wanted to meet me today, and I was like, okay, no problem. Pick the time. He told me the time. And then he said, okay, can you take Venmo? And I said, no, I don't take any electronic payments. And then he basically said, well, I'm cash poor. So are you willing to wait until Friday? And I was like, yeah, I'm in no particular hurry. Friday works. If that's when you can have cash, that's fine with me, whatever. And if someone wants to get it before Friday and, then, he would lose out and I would ping him and tell him, okay, I've already sold it. But if it gets still around on Friday and he pings me, I'll coordinate the meetup and, we'll do the transaction. Anyway, I'm just curious, if you sell things on Facebook Marketplace, what's your experience? And rather than using Facebook Marketplace, do you use other alternatives? In the past, I used to use like Craigslist, but people don't seem to do that anymore. And so now it's more things like, they still go back to eBay, they go to Poshmark, they go to, I forget some of the other ones, but uh, there's a wide variety of online marketplaces now, and I'm just curious, like, what you find to be the most successful. Because as I um, get closer and closer to retirement, I know that in the first periods of time of my post work life, I'm going to be liquidating a bunch of things. And so, I've started that process using Facebook Marketplace. And over time, I expect, to put more and more things up on Facebook Marketplace or other things. I don't like the concept of eBay. Well, I don't like the concept of shipping the things because once I have to add the shipping cost, the items become very expensive for the buyer, and most buyers don't want to absorb the shipping cost. So, or they want the shipping cost to be like a flat number, and then you eat the difference above that, which I'm just not willing to do for the items that I want to sell. Like if I'm taking the trouble, if I'm going to go through the trouble of photographing it, and doing all the other stuff that you have to do, I want to be able to get the price or very close to the price that I'm gonna, that I've posted. Like I am flexible on, the various items, but items that I don't care that much about, I've already sold through garage sales or I've donated them or whatever. The things that I have left are things that have value that, you know, I don't want to just give away to somebody. So anyway, just looking for your thoughts on what's the best marketplace to liquidate a variety of items. And in my case, the things that I'm looking to do is I have a ton of fishing items that I need to liquidate. I have a ton of tools. So they're either heavy or they're large in size, and shipping again doesn't really make lots of sense given especially the weight and the way whether it's UPS or FedEx, you know, charge you based on the dimensions of the box as well as the weight. It becomes hyper expensive to get things, the type of things that I have to liquidate. So, um, as an example, my dad was a charter boat captain. When he passed, I got a bunch of rods and reels, like a lot, hundreds. So, like, try to box up a rod that's not a multi-part rod, right? And it's, let's say, I don't know, 8 feet or 9 feet in length, right? Getting the boxes for that are several dollars a piece, and then the shipping cost again gets really expensive, right? So anyway, it's just a long-winded way of saying, you know, Facebook Marketplace or some local venue is the thing that I have been leaning towards, but I'd love to get other feedback. Kind of then moving on. After the market closed, I checked our portfolio performance, and today was a good day for us, so that's fine. I also found that, I was going to need. I also found that I had some T-bills that are going to be coming due, and so I needed to look up when the next T-bill auction is going to be. Um, so the upcoming auctions, at least for the duration of times that I'm interested in, which is 13 weeks and 26 weeks, are both going to go off on February 10th. So, and then after I found the date, I then looked up what was the last or the most recent auction results for that particular date so that I would have an idea of what rate to expect. The 13-week went off at an investment rate of 4.325%, and the 26-week went off at an investment rate of 4.303 in the last auction. And so I'll look to put an order in by Friday, whether I do 13 or 26, or maybe I do both of them and effectively try to ladder the duration. That's yet to be, that's TBD. And then, given that the Fed potentially could lower rates within that 6 month time horizon, I just don't know whether I'll stagger it and do, like, let's just say a 6 month, wait a couple weeks, do another 6 months, something like that, and just have the money sit in a money market in between those periods, or will I just say, I'll do a 3 month, I'll do a 6 month, and not worry about it. Because really it depends. Like, I don't expect them to drop more than a quarter point anyway on the next time, whenever that next time is. Anyway, I know that's a long-winded update for today, but that's that's what I ended up spending my time on today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section down below, or drop me an email at myretirementramblings@gmail.com. Otherwise, have a great evening, and I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow. Take care.